नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार सर।
जी भारती जी नमस्ते।
कैसे हैं आप?
मैं ठीक एकदम, आप सुनाइए।
ऑल वेल जी, ऑल वेल। होप आप कीपिंग वेल, सेहत अच्छी है आपकी?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आई एम ओके, आई एम वेल।
Very well, then can we start the session with your permission?
शुरू करिए आप।
Let me first of all welcome all the participants for joining this special plenary session at the India at 75 Summit. It's a great honor to welcome very warm special welcome to the keynote speaker Shri Manohar Lal Khattar ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Haryana, who has taken out time from his busy schedule to join us. Haryana at India at 75 and going India at 100. So we all are well aware of, but I would like to still spell out some of the great initiatives and strides made by the state under your able leadership. We all know Haryana is a leading state in terms of industrial manufacturing, be it the automotive and ancillaries, the two-wheelers, mobile cranes, tractors, etc. But I think more importantly, the state produces 2/3 of passenger cars. Honestly, I did not have that data with me until this information came. 50% of tractors, 60% of motorcycles, 50% of refrigerators manufactured across the country. And I think this is a great testimony to the ease of doing business in the state of Haryana, investor-friendly policies, which have attracted large investments again and yet again. It is also gratifying to note that Haryana contributes second largest to the food grain bowl of India, accounts for 60% of the export of basmati rice from the country, third largest exporter of software, and one of the preferred destinations for IT-enabled services facilities. So I would also like to share with you, although in the past we have met and discussed this a number of times, CII is a very, very proud and close partner with the state government. We, as institutional partners for the first time ever, held the happening Haryana Global Investor Summit and the Pravasi Haryana Divas. CII has also facilitated in drafting the Haryana Enterprises Promotion Policy 2015 and Haryana Enterprises and Employment Policy 2020. This all came through very active and proactive consultation with the stakeholders, including inputs from the industry members from Haryana. So the CII India at 75 initiative gathered vast support and momentum from various stakeholders, the central government, the state governments, corporates, MSMEs, civil societies, etc. And as we move towards celebrating 75 years of independence next year, we are also marking the start of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a movement to build a new Atmanirbhar Bharat that will not only be resurgent but equally strong. So we also draw at CII, we also draw great inspiration from our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, his vision for establishing a new India and US $5 trillion economy by 2030. Yes, it got delayed in view of the ongoing pandemic, but I believe the kind of resilience which the Indian industry, the MSMEs and other stakeholders have shown will ensure that we continue on this path, and hopefully before 2030 we become a $5 trillion economy. To achieve this, one thing which is going to be imperative, all state governments will also have to up the ante at their end. Not only integrating their own vision with the vision of Prime Minister Modi and the central government, but also I think a great thrust on India at 75, moving towards India at 100. I think the strides which our great country has made in the last 74 years has been second to none, and many areas we have excelled beyond what was expected, and the achievements have been great. I personally believe that given the demographic dividend of India, given the support from all the governments, the next 25 years, when we meet, I don't know whether we will be there, but I'm sure there'll be the next generations who will be meeting when we celebrate India at 100. We would have achieved much, much more in the next 25 years because of this very strong base which has been created, a strong platform. I would like to outline some of the initiatives taken by your government. I think the vision of bolstering the MSME growth, this has been a great achievement in Haryana. Pharmaceutical manufacturing hub we see is not only garnered widespread support, but we are seeing a lot of new investments coming. On the public welfare and digitization enabled two initiatives I would like to point out. Parivar Pehchan Patra and Antodaya Sarv. These schemes are very, very heartening and steps in the right direction. And I believe the third point which your government has prioritized on the hygiene and urban sanitation. I think this is something which is very, very important because it not only takes care of the hygiene sanitation on one end, but more importantly, healthcare, health of the younger generation, who then also have more time more time and energy to get educated and learn. And I think the state has been consistently ranking amongst the top states in the annual Swachh Survekshan, a survey of cleanliness, hygiene, and sanitation in the cities and towns across India. I would also like to point out, Khattarji, on your own constituency, Karnal, which was ranked the cleanest city in the state in 2020. I think that is something which also shows your commitment to not only to your own constituency, but Haryana as a whole. And I would like to point out one very important factor. As we are seeing the second wave which has gone behind, and I don't know, third wave आएगा नहीं आएगा, experts तो कह रहे हैं कि आएगा, but कितना time और लग सकता है to come back to near normalcy. But I would say, as the country, as we are all adjusting to the new norm or the new normal, it is very, very important that regional competitiveness is focused upon. And that can happen when, if I'm talking to you, the northern region, other states need to also partner with each other. There can be many initiatives which can be taken forward at the regional level. And also, I would say that other stakeholders, the industry, institutions, community groups, individuals, NGOs, civil society, all of them should be brought onto the one platform to ensure that we see positive initiatives moving ahead. And I can assure you on behalf of CII that we will continue to work together with you in a very, very focused agenda, and ensure that we also provide our inputs in the crucial areas of manufacturing, MSMEs, skill development, entrepreneurship, infrastructure, renewable energy. But in addition to that, I would also like to sincerely urge, कि आपका जो सरकार का focus towards services जो है, उधर भी थोड़ा ध्यान ज़्यादा देना चाहिए, healthcare, education, and the likes, because मेरा ये मानना है that ये जो services हैं, they can also create more jobs in rural Haryana. which is absolutely needed, and attract large-scale investments. So I would like to stop here and invite Mr. V. Uma Shankar, the Principal Secretary to the Honorable Chief Minister, to make a presentation, a transformative journey on Haryana. Can we have the presentation, please?
Hello,
Thank you very much, Mr. Mittal. Thanks for the opportunity being provided to Haryana through this forum. And I'm sure all of you all will be eager to hear the Honorable Chief Minister. So, in fact, you have stolen quite a bit of my thunder by enunciating all the qualities that Haryana brings to the table. But let me quickly run you through as to what Haryana has to offer. The journey of the last 75 years, journey of the last 75 years for the country has been pretty encouraging, tremendous. We have moved ahead in the last 75 years, and especially when we come to 2022, when we'll celebrate our 75th year of independence. Haryana is, when India touches 75, Haryana will be 54. We just celebrated our 50th year of our establishment a couple of years back, and you can see what Haryana has brought or propelled the growth of India as a whole in all elements. So in terms of GDP, in terms of per capita income, we rank amongst the best states in the country, probably the best insofar as the medium and the large states are concerned. We can see that even the literacy has improved by leaps and bounds. Poverty has come down by a significant factor, so much so that extreme poverty in the country would probably be eliminated by 2022, and you would have the intermediate level of poverty still subsisting. Haryana is already passed through that hump. Life expectancy has grown, and these are figures expected to grow further when the new census figures are thrown up. Urbanization has also picked pace, and that has also propelled the growth in the days that have come. Next. I don't need to recount this. Mr. Bhati Mittal has already mentioned most of the points that are there in this slide, but it just goes to show as to what Haryana is in the regional as well as in the national context. In itself, Haryana is the economic powerhouse of the north, and also leads being amongst the powerhouses when we compare with Andhra or Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra or Karnataka and Gujarat. Next. This is Haryana's growth story since, we have taken 1971 as the year because it was created in 66. And the uniqueness that you can find is that both in terms of the social sector, the economic sector, the agriculture sector, and even in the sports arena, Haryana has been amongst the torchbearers. Fact that we are proximate to Delhi, in a sense that Delhi's growth is also in both ways. It propels Haryana's growth and Haryana propels Delhi's growth. To that extent, you can see the progress that Haryana has made over time. In the earlier times, Haryana was mainly known as an agriculture-led economy, but in the last 20-odd years, it has become one of the leading industrial and service sector economies of the country also. The GDP of the state has seen a 13% CAGR in the last 10 years, amongst the highest in the country. And it has been consistently ranked upon the top 3 fastest growing states in the country. At present, amongst the medium and the large states, it has the highest per capita income. Next. The journey starts with what Haryana has done in the field of agriculture. It's been a big employment generator, but it is also the second largest contributor to the national food, the food grain pool. And to that extent, although there is a part of the state which is rural, this prosperity in the rural areas also leads to a service sector-led growth in these areas. So the population that is dependent on agriculture is reduced to less than 40%. At the same time, the productivity has been the best along with Punjab insofar as agriculture is concerned. Next. As you said, it has the headquarters of many Fortune 500 companies in the world, and it is the largest manufacturer of passenger vehicles. It produces over 60% of all the motor vehicles that are produced in the country. It is also emerged as a base for the IT industry, and Gurgaon is synonymous with the IT sector insofar as the country is concerned. Next. Exports, and this is where in the north, amongst the country, the states in the northern part of the country, the contribution of Haryana towards exports is by far leaps and bounds ahead. And one should recognize that this factor is important because it's a landlocked state, lies far inland, so it bears a higher cost insofar as the export cost in terms of freight and transportation is concerned. Despite that, it has a large share of the merchandise exports also as far as the country is concerned. So the efficiency, the quality that companies bring and Haryana offers is significant. The improvement of infrastructure that the state has seen, especially over the last six odd years, with the infrastructure around both the rail and the road infrastructure around Delhi and in the major producing areas of Haryana, have also led to a quantum jump in exports emerging out of Haryana. Next. There was a mention made about the state's investment in the education and the medical sectors. You will see that the gross enrollment ratio rate in Haryana has gone up to 75.11%, whereas the nation's GR would be about 40%. So we are almost twice the GR of the country as a whole. And literacy has kept pace, but I'm sure the 2021 census will show us that we have moved far ahead insofar as literacy is concerned, given the impetus that has been given to the education sector, especially in the last 6 years. Urban literacy is reaching international levels. But we have also focused now on digital literacy because the new age literacy will be dictated by how well you are or how comfortable you are with the digital world. Insofar as healthcare is concerned, next. Life expectancy has grown and we have moved and we would have reached the replacement rate by 2020. So with that, the stabilization of the population also has started. The death rate is amongst the lowest in the country. And the birth rate has been declining significantly to reach a level of 20.3 per 1,000 by 2020. The health sector has also grown, and to that extent that even during the recent second wave of COVID, there was a large movement of people seeking medical assistance to hospitals in Haryana out of Delhi. So much so that Haryana was catering to patients from UP, from Rajasthan, from Delhi, besides patients from Haryana. And we were able to meet all those challenges and ensure that the healthcare needs of the people in distress at that point in time were attended to or addressed. There has been an increase in healthcare spend also, and the emphasis has been to increase the investment, both the private investment as well as public investment in healthcare systems. Private investment in healthcare has evidenced by the growth of hospitals in the NCR region, has been witnessed, has been seen, but this is now being matched with an equal public sector assistance investment. We are planning to have, and it's the vision of the Honorable Chief Minister, that every district should have a medical college. There are about 6 medical colleges which are presently under construction. The number of seats in medical institutions has grown. In government medical institutions has grown from about 600 or 700 about 6 years back to around 1,600 today, 16,000 today. So the growth that is happening insofar as the healthcare investment is concerned, especially public sector investment, it will be seen. I mean, the effect of it will be felt in the years to come. Starting next year, every year, there should be at least 2 or 3 new medical colleges that would be commissioned. And by the time we go up to 2024-25, we hope to see a medical college established with a 500-bed hospital in every district of the state. Next. Sports, we have just come off the Olympics and the euphoria of the gold medal. Haryana's contribution to India's tally in individual medals was a gold, a silver, and a bronze out of the total 6 medals that India as a nation won on the individual side. This is aside the hockey medal. Hockey, Haryana has always been at the forefront along with Punjab. But the speed, the effect, the emphasis on sports and physical fitness has seen various players coming in from Haryana, both at the national and at the international level. In the recent squad, one third of all the participants were from Haryana, who represented India in the Olympics. So the development that has taken place in the other areas is equally reflected on the sports field also. Next. The development of the educational institutions, the startups, and startups mostly led by the private sector who have come up and contributed in a big way to the startup sector also, and based upon the policy initiatives that have been taken by the state government with the university incubators, has also seen a growth, and we are thankful to NASSCOM who have sort of been a partner in this exercise with us. Of the new initiatives, and this is where the meat of the presentation lies. Next. Haryana is the first state which has set up a foreign cooperation department. This is to ensure both inbound investment, help in outbound exports, and also be a bridge for the diaspora. Through this, foreign affairs has been generally seen as the union government's domain, but this is the first time where, with the consultation with the Union Ministry of External Affairs, that a foreign cooperation department has been set up at the state level also. It does please all of us that this department has started establishing its reach, its contacts, its ability to build a bridge between both insofar as investors who are intending to come to India are concerned, as well as the diaspora, the Haryanvi diaspora, who have a significant presence across the world. The cluster development and the MSME department, this is another initiative that has been taken last year, where to give a special focus to the MSME sector, a separate department was established, and it has come up with a number of policies and initiatives to promote the MSME sector in the state. Insofar as cluster development is concerned, there has been linked to this is the One District, One Product scheme, the ODOC, where we are promoting various parts of the state to take up specific products that are unique and that are specific to that particular district insofar as promotion of the industrialization and the industry sector is concerned. Next. We have a separate CSR trust that has been established recently. The CSR trust is intended to channelize the CSR investment or the CSR support that comes into various activities that these companies would like to invest or put their money in. It acts as a bridge between, it's a platform essentially to do the matchmaking between those who intend to contribute towards CSR and the set of projects that will find meaningful activity insofar as the company is concerned. So you can take your pick of projects and build this bridge to this CSR trust. This is just to do a little bit of evangelizing about the CSR trust that has come up recently. Next. The emphasis of this government has been to take governance to the people directly. To that extent, we have moved forward from the ease of doing business to the ease of living, where we could provide government services in a time-bound manner through the digital media, directly at the doorstep of the citizens, even without an application being made in many cases, what we call as proactive service delivery. To that extent, I must mention here that Haryana has been ranked the top state in direct benefit transfers in the country. And the union government had felicitated the state for the action that had taken on the DBT insofar as all government schemes are concerned. To that extent that we are using the digital medium to take the the governance directly to the people, cut out the intermediaries, and provide the benefit without any leakages. That has been the main move or the shift that has happened insofar as governance is concerned. So minimum government, maximum governance is not just a slogan. It is actually practiced and it is continued to be practiced. Next. Antyodaya Saral is a mechanism wherein it provides a single one-stop shop for all citizen services through a faceless, paperless, and cashless mechanism. You will see from the figures that are mentioned, over 4 crore applications were received and about 3.5 crore applications have been processed for this. The Antyodaya Saral program has received the National Award for Digital Delivery by the Government of India last year, and it has been promoted as the model to follow insofar as other states are concerned. Next. Parivar Pehchan Patra was mentioned as one of the flagship schemes by Mr. Bharti Mithal. And let me use this occasion to express the vision that the Honorable Chief Minister has insofar as this program is concerned. This essentially tries to create a unique identifier for every family because there are a number of government schemes that use the family as the basis for its service delivery. Through the mechanism of, it is probably the next step to Aadhaar without the problems associated with Aadhaar. To that extent that we are able to reach every family with the entitlement that the family requires and provide the benefit aimed at that particular family. That would mean a huge leap insofar as the present model of governance is concerned, where people come seeking services. So if you create a digital system using a unique identifier, and through that mechanism, reach every family in the state who are desirous of government assistance of any form, and model the assistance schemes not on the basis of a defined menu, but on the basis of the choice of the beneficiary. And let me take an example here. If there is a particular family which feels that it doesn't need a PDS assistance coming through the ration shops, but would rather have the money that the government spends on him through the ration assistance, the subsidy, to be transferred into a scholarship for the child or for the family's child, then this becomes possible. So you essentially ensure portability across schemes also. And we don't siloize schemes and say, this is a scheme, take it or leave it. So the redesigning of schemes, the dovetailing of schemes into a common platform, that gets enabled through the Parivar Pehchan Patra. This is the larger vision. We are now at a stage where we are putting the bricks together. The foundation is there. The bricks are being put together so that you would see the edifice in a very short while. The CM window has, again, from the numbers that you can see on screen, has proved to be a bridge between people who have grievances and their ability to reach various institutions in the state. Next. I would just end with the benefits that the new Haryana Enterprises and Employment Policy 2020 brings to the table. And we leave this slide and the document that is available and request anybody and everybody that our doors are open. We welcome investment. We welcome investment wholeheartedly. And the state would put whatever it is required on the table to facilitate that investment to happen in a transparent manner. With that, let me conclude my presentation. I'm sure you'll be eager to hear the Honorable Chief Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mashankar ji, for making that presentation. Let me also share that 500 से ऊपर जो लोग हैं उन्होंने log in किया हुआ है इस session के लिए. And now I have the honor of inviting Shri Manohar Lal ji to share his own views on the state.
कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित श्री राकेश भारती मित्तल जी, उपस्थित सभी हमारे इंडस्ट्री के मित्रों, आज का ये जो CII के द्वारा किया जाने वाला ये एनुअल मीट है, इसमें आप सब लोगों का स्वागत है। और सबसे पहले स्वतंत्रता दिवस की मैं आप सबको बधाई देता हूं। और साथ ही आज हरियाणा में तीज का त्योहार, जो एक ऐसा त्योहार है जो हरियाली और खुशहाली के साथ जुड़ा है, वो भी आज ही है। तो आज इस त्योहार की भी आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं। भारती जी, बहुत कुछ आपने भी अपनी सारी बातचीत में हरियाणा के बारे में सब बताया है और हमारे उमाशंकर जी ने भी अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन में सब चीजें रखी हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि एक 10 मिनट का भाषण मेरा हो जाए, उसकी बजाय अगर कोई किसी को इंटरेक्शन के माध्यम से कोई बात पूछनी है तो अपना हाथ खड़ा करके अगर वो बातचीत करेंगे तो थोड़ा सार्थक भी पहल हो जाएगी। हम चाहते हैं कि हरियाणा जो है वो एक डेस्टिनेशन सब लोगों के लिए ऐसा बने कि सब लोग यहाँ आकर के, चाहे अपने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए, चाहे इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए, जो भी कोई हरियाणा के साथ संबंध जोड़ने की इच्छा रखते हैं, और यहाँ की सारी बातचीत के माध्यम से यदि किसी के मन में कोई बात है तो 2, 4, 5 प्रश्न लेते हैं, उसके बाद फिर अंत में मुझे जो कुछ कहना होगा तो कहेंगे।
बेहतर जी, एक्चुअली 4:15 बजे प्रधानमंत्री जी भी एड्रेस कर रहे हैं CII सेशन को, अभी शुरू होने वाला है या हो गया होगा। मेरे पास क्वेश्चन आए, मैं दो चीजें आपके समक्ष रखता हूं और यू कैन शेयर दैट विद अस। पहला तो है कि अगले आने वाले 25 साल में आपका क्या विजन है हरियाणा स्टेट के लिए, और दूसरा जो ओलंपिक्स की बात उमाशंकर जी ने की, हमने देखा कि हरियाणा के खिलाड़ियों का बहुत अच्छा प्रदर्शन रहा। मैं आपसे ये भी शेयर करता हूँ, व्हाट्सएप में अभी मैसेज चल रहे हैं जहाँ पे एक माँ बाल्टी से छोटे बच्चे को दूध पिला रही है और वहां लिखा हरियाणा ने ओलंपिक्स की तैयारी शुरू कर दी। तो उसमें स्पोर्ट्स के लिए आपका क्या बढ़ावा रहेगा, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, फिजिकल फिटनेस?
दोनों विषयों में मैं एकदम आपको खुल करके बताना चाहूंगा कि जब हरियाणा बना था 1966 में, तो बहुत से लेख लिखे गए कि हरियाणा प्रदेश ने अलग अपने आप को एक राज्य के अस्तित्व में तो ले आए हैं, लेकिन इनके पास तो अपने कर्मचारियों को देने के लिए सैलरी नहीं है और ये आगे कैसे करेंगे, क्या इन्होंने गलती कर दी है अपना राज्य बना करके। लेकिन आपकी जानकारी के लिए 66 से लेकर के आज 2021 तक 55 साल की इस यात्रा में हरियाणा ने न केवल अपने आप को पैरों पर खड़ा किया है, बल्कि बहुत से राज्यों से अग्रणी राज्य इस रूप में, चाहे वो आर्थिक दृष्टि से है, चाहे वो शिक्षा की दृष्टि से है, खेलों की दृष्टि से है, स्वास्थ्य की दृष्टि से है, ये हमने अपने आप को यहाँ तक बढ़ा करके लेकर के आए हैं। इसमें किसी को भी कोई दो मत नहीं होने चाहिए कि हरियाणा का व्यक्ति एक मेहनतकश आदमी है, चाहे वो शारीरिक दृष्टि से, चाहे वो मानसिक दिमागी दृष्टि से, सब दृष्टि से उसने अपना एक रोड मैप बनाया है। जहाँ तक पहले 25 साल हमारे थे, तो पहले 25 साल में तो यहाँ एक हरित क्रांति जिसको कहना चाहिए कि देश के लोगों को अच्छा अन्न भंडार बना करके दे ताकि लोगों की भूख मिट सके, ये हमारा उसमें जर्नी थी। इसके बाद सन 2000 तक मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि वो एक जर्नी थी जिसको श्वेत क्रांति हम कह सकते हैं कि दूध के नाते से या दूध से बनी चीजों के नाते से इस प्रदेश में एक बहुत बड़ा जिसको कहना चाहिए एक कदम हमने आगे बढ़ाया, तो उसको श्वेत क्रांति के नाम से भी जान सकते हैं। अगर अगले 25 साल की मैं बात करूं, यानी 2000 से लेके आज तक, इसको एक हार्डवेयर का जिसको कहना चाहिए एक हीरा मैं कहूंगा कि एक इंडस्ट्री के नाते से, एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के नाते से हमने जो व्यवस्थाएं बनाई खड़ी की, इसमें भी बाय लीप्स एंड बाउंड्स भी प्रोग्रेस्ड इन द कंट्री। अब जो समय आया है इसमें अगले 25 साल हम कह सकते हैं, तो हार्डवेयर के साथ साथ जैसे सॉफ्टवेयर होता है, एक अच्छे सिस्टम्स खड़े करना। आखिर हर व्यक्ति का ईज ऑफ जैसे डूइंग बिजनेस के अंदर हमने काम करना शुरू किया, ऐसे ईज ऑफ लिविंग इसमें भी हम उस व्यवस्थाओं को सुलभ बनाएंगे ताकि लोगों का रहन सहन ये सरल बने, सुखमय हो, ताकि उनको किसी प्रकार की कठिनाइयां जीवन में ना आए। क्योंकि दिन ब दिन जैसी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड व्यवस्थाएं बनती जा रही हैं, इसमें चाहे शिक्षा के माध्यम से, स्वास्थ्य के माध्यम से, चाहे सुरक्षा के लिए स्वाभिमानी व्यक्ति बने, स्वावलंबी हो, अपने पैरों पर खड़ा हो, रोजगार सबको मिले, इस ओर हम आगे बढ़ने वाले। अगला हमारा ये टारगेट से इन सारी चीजों में सब डेवलपमेंट गोल जो है वो हमने तय किए हैं। इसमें हर रोज नई नई हम योजना बनाते हैं, नए नए हम कार्यक्रम करते हैं, सब आपके सामने आ रहे हैं। जहां तक आपने खेलों का विषय दूसरा उठाया है, खेलों में प्रारंभ से ही हरियाणा का स्थान अपने देश में एक बेहतर स्थान रहा है। चाहे वो परंपरागत खेल हैं, ट्रेडिशनल गेम्स हैं, चाहे वो आज के आधुनिक समय में भी बहुत से खेल नए नए इजाद हो रहे हैं, उसमें हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। ओलंपिक्स में जैसा आपने देखा कि हमने इस बार गोल्ड मेडल लिया है, तो इसके लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे, और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ साथ स्पोर्ट्स साइंस है, स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी है, और स्पोर्ट्स में जो नए नए खेलों के लिए जितनी भी मेहनत कर पाएंगे हम करेंगे। आर्थिक दृष्टि से हमने अपने खिलाड़ियों को जो अवार्ड मनी रखी हुई है वो हाईएस्ट इन द नॉट इन द कंट्री बट ऑल्सो इन द वर्ल्ड मैं कह सकता हूँ। इस प्रकार का 6 करोड़ रुपए के ओलंपिक में मेडल लाने वाले को, किसी खिलाड़ी को, कोई हमारे इक्वलेंट भी अगर करेंसी को हम हिसाब लगा ले, कोई कंट्री दुनिया में इतना पैसा नहीं देती जितना हम हरियाणा में दे रहे हैं। 6 करोड़ रुपया गोल्ड के लिए है, 4 करोड़ रुपया सिल्वर के लिए है, 2.5 करोड़ रुपया ब्रॉन्ज के लिए है, और हमने तो अब चौथे स्थान पर रहने वाले खिलाड़ी उनको भी 50-50 लाख रुपया इस बार दिया है। और इसके अलावा उनको और सुविधाएं, नौकरी है, उनको यानी खेलों के लिए कोई उन्हें अकादमी बनानी है, अपने रहने के लिए प्लॉट की व्यवस्था करनी है, सब सुविधाएं उनको दे रहे हैं ताकि हरियाणा जो है खेलों का देश का एक हब बन सके। इस नाते से आगे हमारी तैयारी है। इस बार देश भर का जो खेलो इंडिया का कार्यक्रम है, नेशनल प्रोग्राम है, ये हरियाणा के अंदर इस बार हमने लिया है। फरवरी 2022 में इस कार्यक्रम को हम पंचकुला के में केंद्र बना करके और ये करने जा रहे हैं। इसलिए हमारा प्रदेश देश में आगे कोई उसमें दो राय नहीं है, लेकिन अपना देश ये दुनिया के देशों के साथ मुकाबले में भी हम बहुत पीछे हैं। जैसे अभी भी हम देखते हैं वी आर 48th इन द रैंक ऑफ ग्लोबल आई मीन स्पोर्ट्स सिस्टम। इसको हम कैसे आगे लेकर के बढ़े, इसके लिए हरियाणा तो जोर लगाएगा ही लगाएगा। दूसरे प्रांतों को भी हम कहेंगे कि सब लोग मिल करके अपनी जो स्पोर्ट्स पॉलिसी इस ढंग से बनाएं कि हम देश को कहीं ना कहीं आगे ले जाकर के खड़ा कर सकें। हरियाणा का अपना एक इतिहास हम जानते ही हैं कि ये कर्म भूमि है। भगवान कृष्ण ने कर्म का संदेश यहाँ दिया, इसलिए हरियाणा के लोगों को कैसे हम एक करके लेकर के जा सके, चल सके। आज की राजनीति में थोड़ा यहाँ जातिगत जो व्यवस्थाएं बनी हुई थी उसको हमने हरियाणा एक हरियाणवी एक के आधार पर पिछले 7 साल में काफी कम किया है, कमजोर किया है। अब इस प्रकार के जातिगत व्यवस्थाओं से हम दूर हट रहे हैं, लेकिन हरियाणा को हम कैसे आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, इसमें कितनी चीजें हमने, चाहे वो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के नाते से अभी जो एक प्रोग्राम बनाया कि 2030 तक देश में न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लागू होगी। हमने हरियाणा में तय किया कि हम न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2025 तक ही लागू कर देंगे। हमारा प्रदेश लोकेशनल एडवांटेज भी है, इसको छोटा प्रदेश है और बहुत ऐसी एक हैसियत रखने वाले लोग यहाँ रहते हैं कि हम इन चीजों को बहुत आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। लोगों में एक कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग का काम ये भी हम कर रहे हैं, चाहे हमारा ट्रांसपेरेंसी का सिस्टम है, चाहे हमारा ऑनलाइन सिस्टम जितने बने हैं, मानो परिवार पहचान पत्र के माध्यम से अभी जो उमाशंकर जी ने बताया है, उसके अंदर हमने कई योजनाएं चलाई। सबसे पहले तो मुख्यमंत्री परिवार समृद्धि योजना, ताकि गरीब परिवार है उसका अधिकार सबसे पहले है, उसको हम कैसे सहायता करें। डिफरेंट स्कीम्स में वो हमारा जो गरीब परिवार है वो शामिल नहीं हो सकता है, उसको शामिल करके उसको आगे कैसे बढ़ाएं। और इसी प्रकार से मुख्यमंत्री अंत्योदय परिवार समृद्धि योजना, कि जिनकी आय 1,80,000 रुपए से कम है, उनको कैसे बेस लेवल हमने रखा है कि साल की 1,80,000 रुपए अर्थात महीने की 15,000 रुपए की आमदन ये उसकी सुनिश्चित होनी चाहिए। ये जो खाई गरीब और अमीर की थोड़ा मिटेगी, तभी एक सुखी समाज की कल्पना हम लोग कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसी अंत्योदय की योजना को लेकर के हम आगे काम कर रहे हैं और बहुत सी चीजों में आगे हम बढ़ रहे हैं। हर क्षेत्र के अंदर, चाहे वो पानी का क्षेत्र है, पर्यावरण का क्षेत्र है, इन सब चीजों के अंदर भी हम लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। इंडस्ट्री का आपको पता ही है कि वी हैव सम प्लेस इन द कंट्री, और वो इंडस्ट्री में आप सब लोग इंडस्ट्री के प्रोधा हैं, आपको पता है कि यहाँ किस प्रकार से हम लोग आगे बढ़े हैं। तो इन सब चीजों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए हरियाणा इज ए डेस्टिनेशन टू इन्वेस्ट, टू हैव द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हियर। इसलिए आप सब लोगों से निवेदन ये है कि हरियाणा को अपने मनों में स्थान दे करके, कोई कठिनाई आपकी आएगी उसको दूर करने का काम हमारा है। कभी भी आप संपर्क करेंगे, हम उसको आपकी कठिनाई को दूर करने के लिए हमेशा तैयार हैं। धन्यवाद
सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। आपने एक बड़ा क्लियर विजन दिया है। मैं जो हमारी सीआई की स्टेट टीम है और रीजनल टीम है वो आपसे समय लेकर मिलेंगे, बिकॉज मेरा ये मानना है कि एक तो एमएसएमई और इंडस्ट्री को कुछ सपोर्ट का ज़रूरत है, वो आपके समक्ष रखेंगे। दूसरा, जो आपका एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जो आप कर रहे हैं उसमें भी हम अपना इनपुट्स और सुझाव देना चाहेंगे, ताकि जो यूजर्स जो हैं, जो यूनिवर्सिटीज रन कर रहे हैं या स्कूल्स रन कर रहे हैं, उनके जो इश्यूज हैं वो आपके न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जब फाइनल हो तो उसमें वो एड्रेस हो जाए उससे बनने से पहले। तो हम आपसे, आपके ऑफिस से टाइम मांग के तो आपको फिर आके मिलेंगे।
ठीक ठीक, बहुत बढ़िया,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और हमारा हमेशा के लिए, हमेशा जैसे आपको बहुत बहुत बेस्ट विशेस, एंड आई एम श्योर हरियाणा विल कंटिन्यू टू लीड, be the leading state amongst in India, and we will continue to partner to ensure and see that not only on the industry economic front but education, health, sports, CII will contribute to its best in making that sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.